Santorini may be one of the most photographed cruise ports in the world, but what is it really like when your ship arrives? Hi, I'm Bonnie from Voyage Cruise and Travel, and with over 52 cruises and visits to 72 countries under my belt, I love helping travelers feel confident and prepared before they even step off the ship. In this video, I'll show you what I did to skip the crowded cable car, avoid the 600 steps, and also how getting to Thera early morning made all the difference. You'll see how the port transfers work, tips for navigating the island, and why this shortcut to town might be a better choice than you think. And if you've dreamed of seeing Thera, the town with the famous blue dome. I'll also share an independent water taxi option I just discovered after the trip that might be the better way to do it. Let's get started.
We are happy to see you smiling. Rose, good morning.
Careful. I was here once before. I have a video on it, and it was a madhouse. Apparently today there are 3 ships in. We're here till 9:15 p.m., which is great. I'm here in October. The weather is just gorgeous. Considered a little bit towards off-season, so it may be a little different experience than my first experience. We tendered into Athinios, the working port, where ferries depart, and then we took a bus to Thira. Doing this option avoided the 600-step hike up to Thera or even standing in line for the cable car. This eliminated that whole problem. So we are in the old port of Santorini, and I knew that it probably wouldn't go to that area where the cable car is, but I wasn't sure. They didn't make it clear. It's a road that goes up to the very top by car. So I'm guessing this bus is taking us all the way over back to where the cable cars are. But honestly, I wanted to be over in this section anyway, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. But it's just a good alternative to the cable car madness. It's kind of an old port area where a lot of the ferries leave from for island hopping, and you see people with luggage trying to get out. It is true that it is kind of like backtracking because you are headed back to the direction you could have just gone to begin with, but you're just eliminating all the hassle of the crowd. So there were about 60 of us going this direction, and everyone dispersed and did their own thing once we arrived at an area near a bus stop. We were told to meet at around noon or 12:30 for a ride back to the Athinios Port and then a tender back to ship. But again, we were there till 9 p.m. so many people opted to just take this bus one way, and they were going to get back however way they were going to do. Some had tours, some had other things going on. I found out that the town and villages of Santorini are built along the steep walled rim of its caldera. It's a sunken basin of the volcano that formed the island, and it is the only inhabited caldera in the world.
This is a traditional method and a natural protection. This technique, we call it kulura. Also, harvest starts August until the end of September. We are famous about white wines here in Santorini. 3 of those, Assyrtiko, Nichteri and Vinsanto moths, so it has stronger taste than Assyrtiko. Now, the third white wine is the Vinsanto. Vinsanto, it comes from white grapes, but looks like red. That's because it has a different vinification.
Just as a note, Santorini is not mobility friendly. There are narrow cobblestone streets, steep roads, and only about 40 taxis in the whole island. It did feel like a movie set. The narrow streets, the white buildings, the cobblestones, and getting there early was way more pleasant than coming in the afternoon when the sun was hot and the crowds were big. Only a benefit of coming at 8 a.m. I mean, there's some people, but it's nothing. At least I am walking at a normal pace here. I'm not like stuck with 100 people in my way. We only have 2 ships here today. Normally there can be up to 7, so it's way different. It's actually not bad. If you get there in the morning, just meander down some of the winding, narrow streets. Wear good shoes. It's cobblestone and uneven terrain. I was so happy to walk around, and I enjoyed the peace and quiet of Thera before the crowds. We got there before 9 a.m. I love the narrow walkways, and you just have to remember you have to walk back up, so it's a bit of a hike. You need to be in fairly okay shape to do this. Every tour that happens in that region lets out in Thera, and then everyone takes the cable car back down to their respective ships. Walking sticks can help, but if mobility is limited, I would keep the day simple and just look around Thera and maybe take a tour that can give you rides or a water taxi or something like that. Oh, this is beautiful. Courtyard here. It's a hotel. I would imagine this would be pretty pricey. You have to realize how beautiful this place is. Very captivating. The cable car costs 10 euros each way, and lines can be hours long when ships are in. The 600 steps are shared with donkeys. Halfway section can be messy, slippery, and even dangerous as they are cleaning the steps continuously. We just came down a few levels to see what it was like. The cable car is that direction, and you can see it right there actually. I knew someone who slipped here and got hurt, so unless you're very fit, you might want to skip the steps. There are stairs everywhere in Santorini. When we arrived in Thera, I noticed there was a bus station, and there are routes all over the island from that particular bus station, and you do need to pay cash when you take it. But here's the catch. Once you get to your stop, you may be waiting forever for a taxi, and not everywhere is walkable. So with only a few hours in port, that can be stressful. And at the time of filming, a water transfer wasn't offered through our ship. Since filming, I discovered a Viator that uses a water taxi from the old port directly to Ia. There is no cable car needed. You would just hop on a water taxi. And if I had known about this option then, I definitely would have booked it, because it's a great choice if you're short on time and you want to see those famous blue domes and some beaches, black sand beaches, and you won't have the stress of dealing with going to the top of Thera. I mean, originally I did want to go to Ia, but with limited time and no clear information on how far it was to walk from the bus stop to the sites or the beach, it just didn't feel like a good fit, especially since my husband can't really do long walks. So instead, we just focused on enjoying Thera crowd-free with plenty of time to explore and relax. My idea was to take this bus and then end up at those, like you see right there in the picture, right there on the bottom right, the blue domed place. I went there last time, and that's the more picturesque village. So you can find at the top of the cable car tour guide people that will take you to these places. Just a safety tip, summer heat can be pretty brutal, up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius. So always carry water or buy water, bring sunscreen and a hat. And like I was saying, walking sticks are common to help steady on cobblestones and slopes. But if your mobility is limited, consider Thera only or a bus tour that drops you off at scenic lookouts instead of expecting long walks. break right at the cable car entrance. It's to the left here. And there's just a very few people. It's a bit of a line, not much. It's only about 11 o'clock. This is like an area you can sit in. Crowd-wise, it's not bad at all. Don't be afraid to come here. The people have been very friendly and hospitable. So it's interesting. I was just talking to a man and he said he doesn't mind the tourism. He was happy that it was getting lighter, but he has a good business. He said life is good. He enjoys it. So I think the shopkeepers are fine with all the tourism here and they're just philosophical about it. I think the people with the biggest problem are the cruise ship people that expect it to be the certain way, and then maybe all the other people are in the way and everyone wants their pictures, that kind of thing. So just be prepared to be patient and accepting of whatever. But like, there's pretty shops that have pretty things. Like, these are pillow covers. Glancing through the store windows, I noticed a cable car charm. Now, how many of you would buy one of those, knowing what you know about the cable car ride? Let me know in the comments. Coins and things. See, pretty rings. So lots of shopping in Santorini. These are funny mannequin faces. They have music, jewelry, so it's a good place to shop. I've seen other things I hadn't seen before, and we have a 3.5 hour time before we take the bus back, and that's what I want to do because that's why I bought that tour. It was about $50 to take a bus back and forth instead of the cable car, and people are starting to come in. It's getting more and more busier, so I am happy that I am just able to do this time. I walked a little further past the cable car. I saw the church, I saw some residential areas, and it is very beautiful. Gonna be buying some hummus. There's my friend here. He's getting some change for me. Leaving by noon meant we avoided the worst of the crowds. Santorini can feel chaotic, but with the right plan, it is unforgettable. Right down the street, there's the cathedral, but I am leaving at 12:15. And tours, I've run into like 7 tours like this. So that's, the earlier you go, the better. It's just better for you, and the lighting's better for pictures. So my final thought, Santorini, you know, it takes planning, but I think it's worth it. It is a beautiful place. And do choose the option that fits your energy level and timeline. So whether it's Ia, views from up above, or just a relaxing morning in Thera, I mean, it's really up to you how you want to conquer that. There are lots of shops for shopping, lots of things to buy. There are restaurants and beautiful, breathtaking views to enjoy. There's lots of opportunity for photos. I think your ship and how long it stays and when it arrives and on what day it arrives and how many other ships are in port make all the difference. I was really lucky with Celebrity to arrive there at 8 a.m. and leave at 9 p.m. We're realizing the blue domes are not in Thera, they're in Ia. The O-I is pronounced with an E, so it's Ia. Back on board, I would like to come back and try to get to Ia. So this time in Santorini, I learned Ia really takes planning. I didn't quite get it right. So I'll have to come back a third time and give it another try. But honestly, after a full day of exploring, figuring out logistics, taking pictures, walking around, shopping, I was exhausted. I just sank into a lounge chair in the solarium, watched the view, and decided not to head back out, even though we had till 9 p.m. Sometimes the best choice is just to enjoy the moment and rest. Like I was saying, I think the third time I will do these things. and see what I want to see to rest this whole idea in my mind of what I want to see here. It's what you make it, and you just, like I say, bring your patience. Pictures are beautiful, but I do feel for the tourists here. It's kind of hard to share this beauty with everybody. It's been my pleasure showing you around Thera and showing you the beauty that is there, and there's lots of shopping, lots of things to buy. If you're looking for linen dresses or fun type of jewelry or scarves, anything, it's here. So this is a good place to shop. We do have an extensive playlist on celebrities, silhouette, and everything it has to offer, as well as the other ports of call that we are visiting. Please make sure you check that out. If you have found this helpful and informative, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe for more cruise tips and information. Thanks so much for watching.
Happy cruising, and until next time.